Most people think walking is too simple to matter, and that one belief may be quietly costing them their brain, their heart, and their independence. What if I told you that a short daily walk triggers changes inside your body so powerful that researchers were genuinely shocked when they saw the scans? Stay with me, because what you are about to learn will completely change how you see this simple habit. Welcome back. Today we are going inside the body to look at exactly what happens when you walk every day. Not the surface-level stuff you have heard before, the real biology. The changes happening in your brain, your blood, your cells, and your nervous system that most people never even know about. I am going to walk you through 7 things that change in your body when walking becomes a daily habit. Some of these will surprise you. A few might actually concern you about what is happening right now, if you are not walking regularly. And stay until point number 6, because that one is something almost nobody talks about, and it affects nearly every adult over 40. Let us get into it. Point 1, the brain change nobody warns you about. Here is something that will stop you in your tracks. Your brain is physically shrinking right now if you are not moving enough. There's a structure deep inside your brain called the hippocampus. It handles your memory, your learning, your mental sharpness. And as you age, it naturally shrinks. That shrinkage is directly linked to memory loss and, in serious cases, diseases like Alzheimer's. For a long time, doctors believed this decline was simply unavoidable. Then scientists ran a study on older adults who walked at a steady pace for about 40 minutes, 3 times a week. After just 1 year, they scanned the participants' brains. The hippocampus had actually grown. Not slowed its decline, grown. That is a remarkable finding. Walking does this by increasing blood flow to the brain and boosting a protein called BDNF. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for your brain cells. It supports growth, repair, and communication between neurons. This is why people who walk regularly tend to think more clearly, remember more easily, and stay sharper for longer. If you have ever noticed that your mind feels clearer after a walk, that is not your imagination. That is your brain chemistry shifting in real time. But here is where things start to get serious. Because the next change affects something most people are struggling with right now, and they have no idea walking could fix it. Point 2, what walking does to your stress. Chemistry. Stress is not just a feeling. It is a chemical state. When you are under pressure, your body floods itself with cortisol. In small doses, cortisol is helpful. But when it stays elevated day after day, and for millions of people it does, it starts doing real damage. Poor sleep, weight gain around the middle, a weakened immune system, constant low-level anxiety that never fully goes away. Most people accept this as just modern life. They do not realize their body is stuck in an alarm state. Walking breaks that cycle at the chemical level. The rhythmic, steady motion of walking activates what is called the parasympathetic nervous system. That is your body's rest and repair mode. The predictable left-right movement sends a signal directly to your brain that says, you are safe. You can stand down. This is why a 20-minute walk can shift your entire mood, even when nothing in your life has changed. Your problems are the same, but your body chemistry is different. And that changes everything about how you experience those problems. The effect is even stronger when you walk outdoors. Natural light, open space, and distant visual focus all send additional safety signals to the nervous system. This is not guesswork. Doctors see this regularly in patients dealing with chronic anxiety. Pattern interrupts surprising fact. Here is something most people find genuinely shocking. Researchers at Stanford University found that walking increased creative thinking by around 60% compared to sitting. 60%. Not because walkers are smarter, but because movement literally opens up parts of the brain that sitting keeps closed. Point 3, blood sugar, energy crashes, and what is really going on? Let me ask you something. Do you feel tired after meals? Do you crave sugar in the afternoon? Do you rely on caffeine to feel functional by mid-morning? If any of those sound familiar, your blood sugar regulation may be struggling. And walking is one of the most direct tools available to fix it. Here is how it works. Every time you eat, sugar enters your bloodstream. Insulin is supposed to move that sugar into your cells for energy. But over time, many adults become insulin resistant. The cells stop responding efficiently. Sugar lingers in the blood too long. You feel the crash. You reach for something sweet. The cycle repeats. When your muscles contract during walking, they pull glucose directly out of your bloodstream, without needing much insulin at all. Research shows that walking for just 10 minutes after a meal can reduce blood sugar spikes significantly, sometimes more effectively than a longer workout done hours later. 10 minutes after your meal. That is the intervention. It is that specific, and it is that powerful. Before I move on, tell me in the comments, do you walk after meals or do you sit down straight away? I want to know. And I promise, point 5 is going to reframe everything you think about energy and tiredness. Point 4, your heart and what consistency actually does. There is a widespread belief that only intense exercise, running, cycling hard, gym training truly benefits the heart. That belief is not accurate. Large population studies comparing walkers and runners found that when energy output is similar, walking provides comparable cardiovascular benefits. Comparable. Walking lowers blood pressure. It improves your cholesterol balance. It strengthens circulation throughout the body. And crucially, it does all of this without flooding your system with stress hormones the way intense exercise can if overdone. What makes walking so uniquely powerful for heart health is not its intensity. It is its sustainability. People actually do it. They do it regularly. They do it for years. And that consistency is what produces lasting change in how the heart functions. A 15-minute walk done 5 days a week, sustained over months, will do more for your cardiovascular health than aggressive workouts done sporadically whenever motivation strikes. Your heart responds to what you repeat, not to what you occasionally force. Point 5, the energy problem nobody diagnoses correctly. Here is something doctors see constantly. A patient comes in and says they are exhausted all the time. They are sleeping enough, their diet is reasonable. Nothing obvious is wrong. But they are completely drained. The issue is often at the cellular level. Inside every cell in your body are structures called mitochondria. These are your energy factories. When mitochondria become damaged or inefficient, the body cannot produce energy properly regardless of how much sleep you get. The fuel is there. The factory is broken. Walking stimulates the creation of new healthy mitochondria and helps the body clear out the damaged ones. Unlike intense exercise, which can spike cortisol and leave you more depleted, walking improves energy production gradually, and sustainable. Why? This is why people who commit to daily walking often describe a shift in how they feel after a few weeks. Not hyper, not artificially stimulated, just steadily capable. That calm, reliable energy is a sign of cellular health improving quietly in the background. Lesser known FACT pattern interrupt. And here's a fact that surprises almost everyone. Walking is one of the few habits that simultaneously benefits your brain, your metabolism, your immune system, your joints, and your emotional health all at the same time with a single activity. No supplement on the market can make that claim honestly. Point 6, aging, independence, and the thing most people ignore until it is too late. This is the point I want you to take most seriously. Because it does not get talked about enough. And by the time most people understand it, they are already dealing with the consequences. Walking does not just affect how you feel today. It determines how independently you live 10 and 20 years from now. Researchers use the term health span. Not lifespan, health span. The number of years you live in a condition where you can do everyday things without help. Getting out of a chair, climbing stairs without fear, recovering from illness, staying mentally sharp. Not falling. As people age, the body does not usually fail dramatically all at once. What happens instead is a slow disconnection. Muscles weaken. Balance declines. Reaction time slows. Confidence around movement drops. People start moving less. And moving less accelerates the decline even further. Walking interrupts that spiral before it becomes irreversible. It preserves the leg strength that protects your hips and knees. It maintains balance by continuously challenging your nervous system. It keeps bones denser by providing the weight-bearing load they need. And because it keeps blood flowing and inflammation lower, it is consistently associated with reduced rates of cognitive decline and dementia. Walking is not just exercise. According to research, it is one of the most reliable predictors of how, a person ages. Doctors do not recommend it just for fitness. They recommend it for longevity of function. There is a meaningful difference. Point 7, why consistency beats everything else. Here's the part most people get completely wrong. They focus on duration, on pace, on hitting 10,000 steps. And then when life gets in the way, they stop entirely and feel like they have failed. But the real driver behind every change I have described today is not intensity. It is not duration. It is repetition. Your body is continuously adapting to what it experiences most often. When something happens occasionally, your body treats it as random noise. When something happens regularly, your body treats it as a signal worth responding to. A short walk done most days tells your system, movement is part of who we are. And once your body accepts that signal, the adaptations begin stacking quietly, reliably, in the background. Insulin sensitivity improves because glucose is being used regularly. Stress hormones stay lower because the nervous system is not chronically on edge. Joints stay healthy because they are being moved through their natural range. The brain stays engaged because movement demands coordination and awareness. You do not need perfection. You need presence. Show up most days. Walk at a pace that feels steady. Give your body a signal it can recognize and build on. That is it. That is the whole strategy. Walking is not the backup plan when you cannot do real exercise. It is foundational. Movement. It is what your body understands at the deepest level. And every single day you do it, something in your body gets a little stronger, a little calmer, a little more resilient. Do not ignore this if you genuinely care about your long-term health. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 7 points surprised you most? And tell me where in the world you are watching from. Drop it in the comments right now. If this gave you a new way of thinking about walking, press the like button and subscribe for more science-based health explanations that actually make sense in real life.